Hello, welcome to Vlogmas. Today's video is about self-diagnosis, and it's another video where I would say just go ahead and watch the original video because what I said there was probably more succinct and it's not going to change. I believe pretty strongly that people deserve to actually know what's going on and to not be caught up in assumptions about what might be happening. And I know that that ticks a lot of people off. I know it's so scary, the idea of going to a therapist or a doctor. A therapist, not a regular doctor. Let's make that distinction plain. Because an MD is definitely not going to be able to diagnose you. And unfortunately, it's not something that you can go in like 10 minutes and be like, bada bing, bada boom, diagnose. But I'm sure I've even talked about it already in videos that I've been making this week or whatever. That self-diagnosis is just not great. I mean, I do get it. It's like, what's the point? I mean, seriously. I know it's very hard. Going to a doctor, talking about what's going on in your life is not easy. But I truly think that avoiding a diagnosis is also a worthiness thing, which is, of course, really difficult for someone with avoidant personality disorder to think that they're worth going to a doctor. And I get that too. I get that. But I think people are worthy of a diagnosis. And I know going to a doctor, getting a diagnosis can be expensive if you don't have insurance. Although that's probably just an American thing. In a nutshell, you will find a bajillion excuses not to do it. And among them is a comfort of sort of being sure of yourself, that you know exactly what is going on in your life. There's a lot of people who just think they know more about themselves than their doctor. And considering the way that most doctors' appointments are run, yep. I mean, okay. I don't know how much of my diagnosis story that I've gotten. I don't know if this is actually accurate. Let me tell you what, point blank. I had, this is going to sound really bad, like, what the heck was I doing with my life? But I had a period in my life where, like, a crisis was occurring, mostly with my son, that because my son is autistic and he had a bajillion, this is my new word of the day, he had all these appointments with school and the doctor and everything else, and trying to, like, you know, go to work and maintain the house and everything. It was just getting to the point where I really could not go forward with it anymore. And I have a feeling that it was like an ER situation. It wasn't. I was not in an ER, but it was kind of. I don't want to call it required, but it was. I was ordered to have an evaluation done. When my son was little, just because. Okay, well, here's the whole story, which is not going to put me in the most flattering position. I think I have this online already. Definitely not the most flattering of stories, but I was reported to the state by somebody who, like, just saw my kid and thought he was being really weird and was, like, extremely concerned about some of the behaviors they had, because he was not diagnosed as autistic. No, wait, he was diagnosed as autistic. He was diagnosed as autistic, but it was actually a neighbor that called it in that didn't ever talk to us and just saw my kid being weird. And it's hard to remember how back then. I don't want to remember, to be frank. This is not a nice story. Anyway, we were reported. It actually turned out to be a tremendously beneficial thing for us, because my son was determined to be eligible for a certain type of therapy, which worked. But you had to be sponsored. They don't even tell you that the therapies are available. So he was sponsored by the state. They had to request it. You either had to have a case manager or a basically child protective agent request the therapy. It turned out to be great, but the stress of going through that, really, I mean, they were like, yo, there's something wrong with you. I mean, come on. I mean, we get it. This is a stressful situation, but you really are not handling it well. That is literally the first time. Of course, this was way back, in the day before the internet was the way it is now. Google was not the way it is now. Is this correct? This definitely looks like it needs to be higher, but I don't know how it goes on. Wait a minute. Can it go higher? Yes, it can. There. Okay. I just thought I was uniquely broken. And again, that was part of the abuse that I had, that it was more convenient for specifically my mother to keep me under her thumb, by making me think that I was the strangest thing ever in the history of the universe and damaged in every way. And so I had to tolerate how she treated me because nobody else would. That sort of thing. So, as a matter of fact, also I think I talked about this. I went to therapy basically because I was having a really hard time holding down a job. Does that sound like a avoidant personality disorder or what? I thought, because I was like 18, and I was trying to put the pieces together. Again, this is like self-diagnosis not working for you. I was trying to put the pieces together, and I thought that I had like a problem with men, because most of my coworkers were male, and it didn't occur to me that the problem was coworkers in general. I thought, oh, maybe I have like repressed memory. I mean, remember, I grew up in the 80s when that was the big thing. I really did. So I went to therapy for that. Was not diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder. If it had been caught at the time, I just had traits. I didn't have a set personality. I could have had it. I could have had things change in my life, and that didn't change in my life. Anyway, but that was my self-diagnosis. I thought that, so I went to therapy and went, hey, I need to work on this. My therapist did not diagnose me because I'm like, why would they? It's not a super popular, or popular, that's a bad word. It's not super common. It's not uncommon. It's not super rare, but it's not, the first thing that people think of when they see somebody coming into therapy. She was like, yo, you have a problem with your mother. That's not exactly how she talked. What am I making now? Oh, I have to put this on here somehow. What? Oh, this way. It goes this way. You see what I'm doing? I'm tilting this down. Oh, that's kind of genius. And then I can put that on there. Cool. I don't think this stays down like that, but I'm putting it there for now. Yay, next section put on. So this is part of the front of the building. Anyway, so this person was like, you have issues with your mom. Why don't we bring her in here? And then you guys can talk about what's going on. Again, I didn't know what therapy was. This was the first time I went to therapy. So I was in college. I was still living at home. And the therapy began, and I was paying for this. This is the crazy thing. I was paying for this. Where the therapist was like, yep, you got issues with your mom. Let's talk about this. My mother literally would, during the week, write a list, actually write it out. I wish I kept some of them, just because they're outrageous. Of every single thing I did wrong, not necessarily like an interaction that I did with her that she didn't appreciate or something like that. Is this what I'm looking for? I think so. Yeah. And oh, it's right there. So she would like everything that she thought, like if I didn't do my homework in the way that she thought I was supposed to do my homework, if I was late, she thought I was rude to someone, and literally every single thing she thought that I was doing wrong, she would write these down in this list, go to therapy, and my quote-unquote therapy was to listen to her read this list to my therapist. For real. Okay, what am I looking for? Number 3. I think it's these guys. Putting stickers down. Like it might fit. Cute little Christmas stickers. Actually, one of the hardest part of this is trying to get these stickers on here because I will be like, it must be. There. So, absolutely useless, and I really, had an opportunity to have like an actual, positive experience with therapy, get something going on in my life. But I went in saying, this is what I have. And the effect of that was that I missed out on getting an actual diagnosis and getting some actual progress in my life. It's like a missed chance. Now, granted, do I have regrets? There's no way I would have had my kid, especially how I had him, if I did not have that experience. And I'm kind of a brat about my kid. It was very difficult, but also I got to make all the decisions about my kid. And that was kind of great. So, it was very stressful. It was very hard. It was a lot of work. And I didn't have somebody second guessing. I didn't have to compromise. And I think it worked out okay. Perfect? No. Okay, yes. I think it worked out okay. So I wouldn't say it's a regret. I mean, I'm dead serious that my life would have been so much different. I mean, I probably would have been your average person. This is not the right one. Not the right one. And would have been more concerned about having a relationship in college. I would have gotten the education that I got if I didn't have the avoidant personality disorder. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just following these directions. And then there's supposed to be like one of these guys on top. Wait, what? What? Oh, more of these guys. Ooh, I made a pyramid. And then I do the whole thing again. Opposite. Okay. And those were the pain in the neck ones to find. So anyway, that's a very long-winded description of my process of being diagnosed and not being diagnosed. So I do have I say it, and I know it sounds kind of like, I know what it comes off as. It comes off as, it's so hard to even say the words because it's so not true. But it comes off as like I'm saying I'm better than somebody else because I went off and got the diagnosis. Not true. Okay, this is the thing. Is that right? I don't think that's right. How is that supposed to look? It's not. I mean, it wouldn't be me making these things if it was right? It's supposed to look like, I think, a planter. So these are upside down. See, this is why I'm totally confused, because it looks so weird because I'm doing it wrong. Okay, that looks like more like something that would be on the side of the house. No, it's crooked. Anyway, I know it comes off as like somebody that's officially been diagnosed is official and better. But there's two reasons for that. One is because there are so many people that are undiagnosed by borderline personality disorder, who for some reason would rather be avoidant personality disorder. And I actually, to a degree, think that's benevolent. Oh my goodness, controversial. And the reason I say that is because the person who has borderline is impacting other people more. And the person who has avoidant personality disorder is impacting themselves more. And so it's almost like, on the one, they don't want to be accused of being rotten to people. I get it. But, maybe it's giving too much credit, but it's almost like they're trying to take the pain as opposed to give the pain. And again, I know that's probably like, what did you just say? Coming from me. But that's a problem. It's also a problem, like I said before, of mixing up the symptoms of what you have and just assuming they're all under this one thing when it could be something completely different. It will mess you up if you do that. And which, why do that to yourself? Why? It's not like it's great fun having this thing, See if I got them all this time. So that's, in a nutshell, exactly what I said before, except I actually told my story of my self-diagnosis that was incorrect and how completely wrong. It sort of set me on the wrong foot. And I don't think it's necessary for people to do that. People can do whatever they want, blah, blah, blah. I don't get the comfort of, I kind of do, because it was incredible to get the diagnosis finally. And to know that I wasn't crazy, to know that I had been told something that felt so wrong my entire life, and then have somebody validate and say, no, actually, this story that you've been told about yourself is not accurate. Okay, what? And then this one, I flip over. What? And I'm supposed to put a blue. How? What are they talking about? Okay. It says flip this over. Is oh, that last video. By the way, I take all these videos. It films it and it's backward, and I have to flip it. And I had such a problem editing, because what I do is I film and then I edit. And I had such a problem with day 4 that I I just got done editing, even though I think I'm on day 12 right now as far as filming. And I think I didn't flip the picture. So if you saw the book and it was backward, and I'm really sorry, but you know what? No offense, but I mean, I basically would have to re-record it for something like the 7th, 8th time, whatever that is now. I'm not doing that, so I'm sorry if I forgot that. So I'm supposed to put this sticker on. This is the only blue tile, so here's the blue tile. Here's this little sticker, and there's nothing to stick it to, right? There's nothing to stick it to. Well, I guess I've got a blue tile and I've got this. Makes no sense. All right, but these go on here. I'm building the front of this building. And then I need some of these doohickeys to go up here. What am I doing? Oh no, one of the little chairs came out. Ooh, both of the little chairs came off. Alright. I need to put the chairs back on. Oh, everything in here fell off. Okay, I can't do this tipping it anymore. It makes it easier to put things back in. How did this go? I think it went like this. You can see where it goes. That's not right. It's like there. Okay, and then the little chair there. Okay. I have to be careful with the tipping at this point. Okay. There. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. It looks like it's supposed to go like above the bed or something like that. Inside. I'm going to keep going. Basically making the dormers. Yes, it does go above the bed somehow. But it doesn't stick to anything. Does it just sit there? Well, I've got it just sitting there. See, making dormers. It's that little cube thing is here, and this is the bed. So I just sort of rested it up on. I don't know. All right, what am I doing next? Next, I'm doing this sort of top part up here. Okay. It's kind of coming together. Maybe. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say or how to convince people to go get a diagnosis. I know it's horrible seeming and scary, and I know that having been through it, I can tell you all the things. I can give you all the reasons why. Christmas present to yourself. I know, sounds completely insane. To go get Right, this is getting very confusing. This goes like this. That is correct. This is showing upside down. Showing it upside down. Oh, it right side up. Come on. I mean, I don't know. I've heard every excuse there is to why, and mostly it's like a discomfort thing that people don't want to get formally diagnosed. I get it. No, it's not comfortable going to a therapist and talking about stuff. I mean, who wants to do anything like that? Maybe this is working like a charm. Nearly. I mean, good enough. It looks like these can't. Are they supposed to go higher? Can I get this off? I think it's supposed to go higher. Okay. So I originally had it and I was like, no, it needs to go lower. And now I'm saying, no, it needs to go higher. At least it comes right off. Oops. Oh, come on. Other side, it worked. Smashing this whole thing to pieces. I'll line them all up. I mean, I have talked about throwing things everywhere. I have talked about the pendulum theory, which that cannot be original. And I've never heard anybody use it with avoidant personality disorder. And, so it works for me. As far as, the point of a theory is it doesn't necessarily, like, there's no way to prove it, like theory of gravity. You can't really prove it. It's something that works, so go with it. Okay. I'm going to beat this whole thing up. Okay. I'm going to take this piece off. Ooh, look at that. And I'm going to put this on. Wants to go. No, that's too high. There. That's where it's supposed to go. pendulum theory. And you know what? If anybody ever actually, like, I have never seen or heard, I'm sure that, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't believe in originality. Somebody somewhere in the world must have had like an actual real theory that describes it better. If somebody knows about it, let me know so that I can give them credit and they can actually read about it. Go, hey, would you look at that? That's similar but different from what I came up with. And would you look at that? You came up with some ideas that actually make more sense than what I did. Awesome. I would love that. Oh, now I gotta get this. You know what? I'm gonna take it off and try and put the sticker on before I put it on there. Anyway, but the pendulum theory that I came up with to describe how living with avoidant personality disorder works is, which again, repeating myself for the 900th time. That at some point, unfortunately, life will become so painful that you can override your avoidant tendencies. That you can do something that was impossible before. Suddenly you can do it. Eventually, unfortunately, chances are there's going to be something that you can't handle in your life because of the avoidant personality disorder. Most likely it's going to happen. You're going to be so miserable or so depressed, or, you know, the people that you depend on are not going to be there for whatever reason. I mean, that's such a huge threat that people have. They know that just threatening abandonment, I mean, it's not quite like borderline where all they have to do is say, ha ha ha, abandoned, and they freak out. It's more like you'll hear, you'll never get another chance. That type of crap. I stop here. I think I'm going to stop here. Just because it's sort of, watch how I do this. It's kind of pretty and whole. Oh, I heard something tilt. Yeah, I said, oh, knocking this over. This gets to the point where everything wants to knock over. I can see why people would glue these together. But that's, yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, they'll tell you that you're never gonna find anything better, so you've got to deal with whatever crap somebody is trying to give you. Or they will leave. They will get fed up and leave, or die, or whatever. You'll lose your job. Things happen. Life happens. And it will get, unfortunately, to the point where you are no longer able to tolerate the discomfort of what's happened in your life. And the discomfort of going to therapy and maybe getting real answer and getting help to change your life is going to be less painful. And when that happens, you'll be able to go out and go to therapy. I don't wish it on anybody. Having initially gone through therapy and being forced into it, Because again, I went into therapy and was completely, I was misdiagnosed myself, my fault, because I thought I knew what was going on, went into therapy, said, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I want to work on, and they're like, okay, let's do it. And it turned out to be something completely different from what was actually going on. But when I really got the, diagnosis and treatment for avoidant personality disorder, I was forced into it. I didn't want anything to do with it. It was not on my radar at all. But life got unmanageable to the point where I was required to do it. And it was so freeing to get that diagnosis, an actual diagnosis. So most people who really, truly, most people who think that they have avoidant personality disorder, most people don't simply have avoidant personality disorder. They might have avoidant personality traits, but it's usually something else that is forcing some people to go out and look and see what's going on. And then they go online, they do Dr. Google, and you misdiagnose. And you waste years, possibly, of your life not getting the care that you need and deserve. And I think that's really sad. So I really wish people would actually get diagnosed instead of self-diagnosing. I've said it a billion times. I've said it over and over, been very super consistent. It's probably the most consistent thing ever in this channel, is how much I believe that people should actually get a diagnosis, that you deserve to get a real diagnosis. And that, unless, because even if you have had training, you're not supposed to self-diagnose. Even if you've gone and, gone to school and have your degrees and you're a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, you're still not supposed to self-diagnose. Because you could be blind to something, or it could be something that you just happen to have never heard of or seen before, or have personal experience with. And so, anyway, I'm babbling. That's what I do. Yeah. Give yourself a really nice Christmas present and get a real diagnosis. And see what is going on in your life, so that you don't have to make changes immediately when you have a diagnosis. You can say, okay, that's enough for now. Cool. Let me think about this for a while. And stop therapy for a year or whatever. And get yourself sort of in the mindset to do something. And it might just having somebody, tell you what's going on, so that you don't think, in the back of your head, the stress of what is happening, or think that you're crazy, or think that you're weird and wrong and, abnormal, because avoidant personality disorder might be rare, but it's not abnormal. It is, unfortunately, a normal response to an abusive situation. One of many normal responses. Not healthy, but normal. And knowing that you're normal, especially if you've been told that there's something weird and wrong with you your whole life, that alone could take enough of the stress and pressure off of, what's going on in the back of your head of, I've been told this and this is how I feel and something's not adding up, and you just keep coming back to it. It's like a paradox. You just can't leave it alone, once you get a diagnosis, you can leave it alone. It gives you such a sense of relief to know for sure what is going on. And again, that there's intricacies. You know, maybe you have a low level depression and a medication could help you. And you can't get that unless you get a diagnosis. It could make all the difference. Okay, I've said it a bajillion times. I'm going to stop now. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.